Introducing your hosts, Sam Godsey and Tanner Dislin. Welcome to Crunch Time with the N326 Duo.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 219. I'm your host, Sam Godsey, and with me today, as always, is Tanner Dislin. Tanner, how you feeling today?
Sam, I'm feeling okay. Obviously, last night being Monday, did not go the way I'd hoped, but still okay, still looking good, and that being the NBA Finals, of course. But I'm excited to talk about it, and I gotta be honest, we are having a banger of a series in the NHL as well. So
yeah,
it's been fun, and they've finally. I mean, I think both series did a 2 off day for travel thing.
Yeah,
but they finally the two leagues got it right. They're just alternating every day.
Yeah,
and it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 awesome series so far. In the Stanley Cup and the NBA. We also got the College World Series field set, and starting this Thursday on release of episode, we have the World Cup starting. So super exciting time in sports right now. But Tanner, where do you want to start on episode 219?
I feel like we got to start with the finals.
Which one?
The NBA Finals.
The NBA Finals. Last night, Game 3 in Madison Square Garden. It started out absolutely electric. They closed off Madison Square Garden for some reason. And New York was absolutely electric. There's no denying that. But, unfortunately for the Knicks fans, the Spurs equaling out 115-111. And Tanner, let me get your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, so actually, I don't know if there was a fairly special guest at MSG last night as to why everything was blocked off and the increased security because President Donald Trump was there. Surprising, whatever. But so, to me, dude, I don't know. It just something felt off about the stadium about the arena when they cut the cameras in. They have the inside the NBA crew. They're all talking about it, and they're all talking about how everything just felt too big. It felt too big.
Yeah.
And I tell you, as much as we want to say. One team's playing for their life. There's something freeing about playing for your life where it's just every move you make is about having to win this game, whereas opposed to the Knicks, they're at home, the crowd, the first game in 27 years, they're up 2-0. All of that kind of really showed the nerves. And as we get into a little bit more of the X's and O's of the game, it's like I think they started both halves really poorly. And that was a major, major problem. And really, outside of the second quarter, which the Knicks absolutely dominated, the other 3 quarters were really poor. And I believe they, in the third and fourth quarter combined, so in the second half, they only scored a handful more points than they did in the second quarter. So the second half was dreadful. The first quarter was dreadful. The reason it was close is because the Knicks had a great second quarter. But, yeah, you felt the nerves, you felt all of that, and simply put, they just didn't play well.
Yeah, absolutely. It seemed this game was as sloppy as the first 2. No one really dominating. It was a team versus team, which you don't see a lot in the NBA these days. It's usually mano-a-mano versus the 2 best players. And that just isn't the case. But Victor Wembanyama has kind of gotten a lot of slack for his Game 1 and Game 2 performance. He bounced back in a big way. 32 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 blocks. You knew this was coming. It was just a matter of time. Once he kind of got settled into this series, it seemed like the nerves have finally gone away. And he really stepped up when the Spurs needed it most.
He was tremendous last night, simply put. He had 32 on 18 shots, all high percentage, always had the answer. Obviously, we all know his defensive effect on the game. He's had a profound defensive effect on every game so far this series. But he was tremendous, and Stephon Castle was tremendous as well. He had a 23 on 14 shots of himself, and he had the big one. I think in the fourth quarter, the Knicks had cut it to 4. The Garden was rocking, and they put together a very good defensive possession. Towns had a good one-on-one defense with Wemby, forced him to back dribble. Wanted to shoot it, couldn't get a shot off. He passed it to Castle, who he just kind of had to take a tough shot and ended up making it to. It was a 3 to get the lead back up to 7, and that was really what put the nail in the coffin. That was the dagger. So it was a huge shot from Stephon Castle, and I just continue to be impressed with the poise of a bunch of 23 and year olds and younger. It has been really impressive. I mean, Game 7 in Oklahoma City, and now winning Game 3 when you were down 2-0 in the Mecca and what was described as one of the craziest playoff environments in NBA history. Being able to withstand that, come out swinging and get a win on the road is nothing short of incredibly impressive. We can argue about ethics and physicality and all of that, but when it comes down to it, man, this team, they always have an answer, and it's really impressive to see. So I guess that's what happens when you get blessed with 3 top 5 picks in a row, something that no team will ever do in the history of basketball again, because now that rule has been changed.
Yeah.
And the Spurs are the last beneficiary. They do seem to have a lot of stuff going their way, to be honest with you, but it's impressive what the young players have been able to do.
Yeah, absolutely. You brought up the ethical game, the controversy surrounding this one. Obviously, talking about the free throw discrepancy. It was 24-8 free throws favoring San Antonio in the second half. Mike Brown didn't hold back in his press conference. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the first thing here is in no way, shape, or form is the refereeing why the Knicks lost this game. They had a 7-point lead coming out of the second half. They started with 3 straight turnovers and then 3 straight Spurs possessions. It was a tie game. The Knicks did not play well. They had 13 turnovers. Brunson had 5 of them. I think of the 13, it was something like 6 were unforced, just straight up giving the ball away. Really happened in the beginning of that, in the first half, in the first quarter, and then the beginning of the third quarter, coming out of halftime. That's why they lost. The bench did not have as good a shooting performance. I mean, granted, breaking news, everyone, Landry Shamit's not going to shoot 80% from 3 the rest of his career, but they didn't make shots and they turned the ball over, and that's why they lost this game. I don't think the officiating was good. I don't think the Knicks got a great whistle, specifically in that second half. But it's basketball, and they still, at the end, they still had a lead in the second half. They still turned the ball over a million times. They still had a million turnovers that were unforced, and San Antonio always had the big shot. So, I don't think it was a great whistle. To be honest with you, I don't think the Knicks have gotten a great whistle any game this series, but as you can see, you can win if you don't get a great whistle. And what did they do in those other games? They played through the contact, they made shots, and they didn't turn the ball over. And that's not what they did in Game 3. So it's not why they lost, but yeah, I don't think it was great. And I don't. It's not why they lost is the key here, and I'm hoping it evens out a little bit, but man, I don't think it was great. I don't at all.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it is the reason they lost. Frankly, I don't really think it impacted the game as people are trying to make it out to be. But question I have for you, Tanner. Obviously, Jalen Brunson, the leader of this squad throughout the playoffs, it seems, hasn't been his usual self. Obviously, still putting up the points, but not doing it very efficiently. Let me pull up his stats. He shot 11 for 25, game 3.
I think he's missed 51 shots this series.
Obviously, you can't go away from your bread and butter, but is it something you have to adjust or just keep letting him shoot because you know a Jalen Brunson game is going to come around the corner at any moment?
I do think you need to adjust here. Look, going back to the officiating, not necessarily in like a oh, it's rigged against us kind of way, but like one thing I think the officials have been very consistent with is the physicality on the perimeter. I think the Knicks have gotten away with being physical on the perimeter. I think the Spurs have gotten away with being physical on the perimeter. The problem is the Spurs' best player does not really play on the perimeter.
Yeah.
So that type of wear and tear hasn't. I mean, you know, he's obviously they've fouled Wemby a lot, so he's gotten into the physical aspect. But like Brunson is taking the heat of a lot of those calls or a lot of that physical play, and a lot of time, like I said, they're letting him play on the perimeter. So a lot of the time, it doesn't result in free throws. So I think the Spurs' physical defense is getting to him, and I think he's just at the end of the day, he's not outside of the fourth quarter in Game 1 where he was tremendous. He hasn't played good basketball. And obviously the Knicks are going to need him. We're going to need him if they're going to close out this series because everyone's feeling each other out. And I think San Antonio made a key. I think San Antonio made a key change in Game 3. Games 1 and 2, Wemby was on Towns. Towns drove by him a lot, right?
Yeah.
He really exposed that matchup. So San Antonio adjusted, put Wemby on Hart, someone who's not really a three-point threat, and allowed Wemby to kind of play free safety, roam around the paint. Anybody drives, that shot blocking threat is available. So, but because of that, Towns wasn't great in Game 3. He was largely taken out. The Knicks need to adapt there, right? And in my opinion, Game 3 was very much too iso ball Brunson heavy, and that's when the offense got really stagnant in the second half. So I do think they need to adapt for sure.
Yeah, agreed. This game, obviously, I'm not a Knicks fan, but losing this game by 4, Obviously, you don't want to waste a OG game where he drops 28. I mean,
he was tremendous.
That's not the usual performance he puts on. More of an all-round guy that'll give you 15 to 20. But if I'm looking at this box score, Cat, who has been arguably the best player for this Knicks in the series, shot 4 for 10. Bridges 1 for 5. We talked about Brunson already. Shamet 1 for 8. Clarkson shot pretty well, but like Deuce McBride 0 for 2. Like it just seems the supporting cast just wasn't there, and to only lose by 4.
Right.
Obviously, you don't want to take it as a good thing by any means necessary, but you gotta like your chances going into this next one.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like again, everything we're talking about. The nerves were very evident. You had a disaster start, dreadful start to the game, dreadful start to the third quarter. Your key bench shooter, Shamet, 1 for 8. Your supporting like Clarkson was good. Towns, like you said, like they made that defensive switch, and it largely took Towns out of the game offensively. Mikal Bridges picked up two fouls in like 3 minutes, I think, in the first quarter. Never really found that flow, threw off all the rotations. Those are real problems. You mentioned the free throw disparity. Deserved or not, it was there. You shot way less free throws than your opponent. You had all these rotational issues, and you lost by 4. And that's where you just say, hey, if the Knicks, me being Mike Brown, if we made our shots like we did in the first couple games, if we stop committing stupid fouls and we can play our rotations the way we want to, and if our shooter doesn't shoot 1 for 8, 13% from 3, there's a chance we win that game, and you like your chances going into Game 4. And you'd like to think some of those nerves are out already, and the president not being there with the added security, maybe that tones down the I don't know what the word is, just like the feeling in the arena. Maybe that things turn down a bit. But yeah, I think like you said, and I don't even really think the Knicks played all that well in the first 2 games either, and they found a way to win those. And I think this was the Spurs' highest offensive rating game of the series too. So you had all of that combining, and you lost by 4.
Yeah.
So obviously this series is in no way over either way, but Game 4 is huge now, because if you don't win Game 4, you squander the 2-game lead, and you're playing a best of 3 with 2 games in San Antonio. That's not a place you want to be.
Yeah.
So Game 4 becomes massive.
Yeah, absolutely. Game 4 is huge in this series. Speaking of Game 4, y'all will obviously know the result, but what do the Knicks need to do to get back on track after this loss? It's been a while since we saw them bounce back after a loss. What are kind of the things you're looking for in this next match?
My number one's clear. Take care of the basketball. Take care of the basketball. That was a key problem down the stretch to start the game as well, coming out of each half and then down the stretch as well. Take care of the basketball is number one. You have to do that. I think number 2 is going to be Brunson-centric. Obviously, with the Wemby of it all, complicates things a millionfold. Brunson's just taking so many fadeaway 2s right now.
Yeah.
It's limiting his ability to get to the free throw line. It's limiting his ability to just finish at the rim. You know what I mean? Like he's shooting a lower percentage on fadeaway 2s than he is laying the ball at the rim.
Yeah.
It's just how it works, how basketball works. So I think you do whatever you can. If you can draw up something to get Brunson a few easy looks early, really get him going. Obviously, he's the straw that stirs the drink. And then number 3, I think, is going to be foul-centric. Just, you got to stop fouling so much. Game 2, I remember coming on here in Game 1 talking about a few guys who played tremendous minutes, who are keys for this team down the stretch. And one of them was Josh Hart. Game 2, Josh Hart was essentially non-existent because he picked up like 3 fouls in the first half. And now Mikal Bridges, the key piece defensively. There's no coincidence that the Spurs had their best offensive rating game when Mikal Bridges is largely on the bench due to foul trouble. You got to defend without fouling. You just have to.
Yeah.
So, and pick and choose your fouls, because obviously Wemby's 7 foot a million. You're going to have to foul him sometimes.
Yeah.
Pick and choose where you want to foul, and don't have those stack up, because that's how you get to that crazy free throw discrepancy. And that's how that all adds up. So I think those are the 3 I'm looking for the Knicks, for sure. And then you'd like to think if all that happens, then the bench can come in, play easier, more free-flowing basketball, and start making some in-rhythm shots, because the defense has to adjust to a Brunson that's making shots.
Yeah, 100%. But anything else on this NBA Finals?
Just a couple things. Did you see the Wemby on Brunson push?
Yeah.
And obviously, talking about it, keep bringing up the officiating. One of the things I'm a little frustrated with is like their upgrades. How in this series there have been 4 like extra fouls, 2 technicals, and 2 flagrants, and all 4 of them are on the Knicks.
Yeah.
And you have the clips of Brunson being thrown to the ground, and all of it, somehow that's not being called. Well, they're currently doing a internal review on whether or not that one gets upgraded to a flagrant, which, like, they've already retroactively taken away Mitch's technical from game 1 or game 2, which is fine and good. I'm getting a little tired of the refs retroactively calling stuff, because imagine a series in a world in game 2 where Wemby makes that jump shot, Knicks lose by 1, and then the league's like, oh, this technical that gave San Antonio an extra free throw that they made, that was incorrect. So you lost by 1, and they shouldn't have had that free throw, but, like, sorry.
Yeah.
Spare me with the retroactive shit. Make the damn call in the game.
Yeah.
And the only reason why this Wemby one, I guess, is significant is because he already has a flagrant 2 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
When he elbowed Nas Reed in the neck. So once you reach 4, you get suspended. So some of these could add up. Obviously, could have some ramifications there. But that's kind of a wait and see storyline. But I have a feeling that there is a next to 0% chance Victor Wembanyama is suspended for a game in this NBA Finals. But we'll see. Just a couple things to look out for. But game 4, like we said, massive. It's feels. It's not nothing's ever a must win. But, like, you go back to San Antonio in game 5 in a 2-2 series. Things get dicey. I mean, things get dicey. I'll just say that.
Yeah, 100%. Shall we move on to the other electric series?
Let's do it.
The Stanley Cup playoffs has been incredible so far. Obviously, we're not huge hockey guys, but this series has just been too good to not talk about. Game 1, Golden Knights win 5-4. Game 2, overtime, Hurricanes win 4-3, and that brings us to Saturday in one of the craziest, not only hockey games, but sporting events in general, Tanner. This one was incredible. Vegas at one point had a 4-0 lead in the second period, followed by a Carolina 4-goal third period to force overtime. During that 4-goal stretch for Carolina, they score 3 of those in 39 seconds. Talk to me about this one, man. It was incredible. This series itself has been phenomenal.
I'm just gonna rattle off what has happened in this, like, just from start to finish, because, like you said, I don't have X's and O's for hockey like I do basketball. It's just like my jaw was on the floor. Thought there was no way that Vegas was losing game 2 or game 3, which they obviously didn't lose, but the goal, 3 goals in 39 seconds is unbelievable. So game 1, we have a goal. This, I think we talked about it with no audio, that it literally happened 25 seconds into the game. Carolina scores again, then Vegas rattles off 3 straight, takes a 3-2 lead. Then Carolina ties it. Vegas scores again. Carolina ties it with about 8 minutes left in the game at 4, and then Vegas scores with about 4 minutes left to take game 1. So we've already got 2 lead changes, a tying goal within 8 minutes, and then a tying goal within 4 minutes. Game 2 was the crazy overtime. Vegas had a 2-0 lead with about 10 minutes left in the game. Carolina scores 3 straight. Then Vegas ties it, goes to overtime. Vegas ties it with like a minute and 20 left. Carolina wins in overtime, and then obviously the game 3 with all the 3-0 lead. Mitch Marner had a first period hat trick.
Yeah,
Sam.
Yeah, in 6 minutes, I want to say one of the second period.
Or excuse me, second period. Yeah. He had a second period hat trick, and he assisted on the 4th goal.
Yeah.
So it's a 7-point period
Yeah.
which is just absurd. You had a 7-point period, 3 goals in 39 seconds. Then they tied up on the power play. How much time was left when they tied it up?
I can't remember.
About minute 40 left. About minute 40 left when they tie it up on the power play. First overtime wasn't enough to settle it. Second overtime was, I got to be honest, it was a little bit like, I don't want to, letdown's not the right word because nothing about this series has been any sort of letdown. But it was like an own goal off the backboards.
Yeah.
So it was like, damn, that kind of stinks. But still, it was, this is just me, this is rattling off facts. This is just everything that's happened. It's absurd. This series has been drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely incredible. It has been back and forth. The craziness of the NA. Like, I obviously am not going to dive into the X's and O's, but if you're not watching, you're making a big mistake.
Not to mention in Game 3, Carolina has those 4 goals scored on them in the second period. They make a goaltending change, put in their backup goaltender, and all he did was save 17 shots. He allowed the goal in overtime that, to be honest with you, was a bad bounce off the boards.
Yeah.
He was tremendous. He's the only reason they were in this game.
Yeah.
It's just some backup goalie that no one's ever heard of. He comes in, he stops everything, and they come back and score 4 goals in the fourth quarter. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It has been absolutely incredible. Game 4 tonight on night of recording, so you'll be knowing the results of this one, but Game 5 continues Thursday when we drop this episode. So if you haven't been watching, I greatly encourage you to tune in.
And again, such a perfect on-off with the NBA Finals. One every night. It's gonna be awesome. This is pretty fun. This is a fun time. This is fun. I'm having fun.
Yeah, 100%. It's been absolutely incredible. But Tanner, where you want to go next?
Let's go to College World Series. How
Yeah,
does that sound?
College World Series was absolutely electric. Georgia beat Mississippi State. That was kind of the best series that I paid attention to. West Virginia. So the matchups are set for the College World Series. Troy versus West Virginia. West Virginia, we've all seen the videos from their games. Troy, first time in Omaha. Then we have Ole Miss taking on North Carolina, Oklahoma, Bama, Texas, Georgia. So going to be some fun matchups coming out for sure.
Man, it's kind of unfortunate. The College World Series isn't boring. But like the only 2 teams on there that I think isn't boring in the sense that it's just like a SEC team in there or a ACC, like a Southern, I don't want to say blue blood, but like like a really good baseball program.
Yeah.
They play each other in the first round in Troy and West Virginia. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But no, it'll be great. It'll be awesome to watch.
Yeah, North Carolina actually walked off. I forgot about that to advance. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
R.I.P. to my Johnnies.
Yeah, rip. Troy beat Little Rock in 2 games. R.I.P. Little Rock. But yeah, it has been a fun series of games. So if you haven't tuned in yet, I recommend you tuning in because it has been an awesome one. But that leads to what's going to be happening on the episode, the day this episode drops, and that is the World Cup. Absolutely awesome time held in North America. Just going through the group stages we got in. Well, I'm not going to focus on all of them. Group D is what we're going to be on the lookout for. USA, Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. USA doesn't kick off the tournament, but they play Friday, I believe. So
Correct.
gonna be super fun. Obviously, we all know the conversation around USA and how this is kind of the golden age, and it's been talks about this for years. But that kicks off. We'll be having a guest on next week breaking down kind of the action, because we'll watch the games, but we really have no idea about X's and O's guys that could be on Senegal that are absolute studs that we are just overlooking. So be on the lookout for that next week. But USA Paraguay Friday,
8:00 Central, so 9 Eastern on Friday.
Yeah, give me fun. I love the World Cup.
So fun.
It's
so fun, dude.
It's the best. But it's gonna be around for a while. We go to group of 32 after June 27th, so we got a lot of time. But Tanner, have you been seeing all these tweets from people that have traveled to the U.S.?
Tell me you're talking the people who are trying American food for the first
Dude,
time.
it's so funny. Like this guy. Just had our first Waffle House experience at 1 a.m. Great food, great prices, and friendly staff. 10 out of 10 will be coming back. Why didn't no one tell me ranch sauce
That's my favorite
is
one,
like
dude.
crack? Europe, we need ranch ASAP.
That's my favorite. And I saw like just a bunch of it's some random soccer players. Their picture. They'd have a flag in their name, wherever they're from, some European country. They'll just take. I saw one. Someone took it was like a gas station convenience store. They stopped near like Combos.
Yeah.
Like the most nothing thing, and they posted a picture of it, and they're like, "This is a movie."
Yeah.
Talking about getting a big gulp from 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
Like the biggest, in their eyes, that's like drinking out of a garbage can.
Yeah.
The biggest cup they've ever seen. That guy who did the Waffle House, I think he has one about Wendy's.
Yeah. Let me.
That guy's been great. It was like a German guy.
Yeah, you have to drop this guy a follow. His username is FreddyLA7. So I wanted to make sure we shouted him out. But yeah, he is now in Auburn. I love Americans. We were about to walk an hour to the stadium in the rain to save on an Uber, and the receptionist at the hotel we were parked in decided to drive us there. Little gas break somewhere in Alabama. It's just like a regular convenience store. But yeah, he's like driving 14 hours. Paid the ultimate price for not spending $3 on a locker river tubing yesterday. Our shoes are still soaked. Time for some shoe shopping at Walmart. Chattanooga down they're seeing Argentina versus Iceland today.
Is it friendly?
I believe so. Yeah.
Is that friendly just in Chattanooga?
Yeah, I think so. No, it's in Auburn. Excuse me.
Like Auburn, Alabama?
Yeah.
It's even weirder than Chattanooga.
Yeah. But yeah, they drove from Chattanooga because that's I don't know the whole where people are staying and where games are at, what's friendly, what's not makes no sense.
That was going to be my next question. How do you think? Have you seen the practice map?
Yeah, I have.
Like, how on earth did they come up with that?
Yeah, Wendy's escalation. This dude ordered the entire damn menu. Shout out him. Cheese fries, burgers, no Frosty. Big mistake there. He did get.
You can tell he's European.
He said overwhelming to the Coca-Cola.
The freestyle.
Yeah. But seeing people, especially this guy, Chili's and the NBA Finals, he is fully embracing the American culture, which is super cool. to see, and it seems a lot of people have chosen that route. Obviously, you're going to get some haters, but
how awesome is that when we're like embracing the American culture, and he's talking about how much he's loving this American trip, and all he's doing is just being a fat lord.
yeah, he's really embracing the
and
American.
that's just what it is. That's
the
what
American
it is here.
lifestyle.
The American
for sure.
lifestyle is just gluttonous.
Yeah, but World Cup, one of the best events that happens every so often. So be on the lookout for that. Even if you're not a soccer fan, it could be two of the. I know there's a storyline around this one is it could be the last World Cup we see Ronaldo and Messi potentially play. Obviously, don't know for sure, but so just that storyline alone is worth tuning in for. But anything else before we wrap it up on episode 219, Tanner?
Yep, Sam, quick trivia. Who's the world number one in international soccer?
I'm going to go France.
It is not France.
Spain.
It is not Spain.
Germany.
It is not Germany.
All right. Brazil.
Nope. Uh-oh.
Portugal.
No.
Argentina.
Yes, Argentina's 1. Spain's 2. You've already got them. France is 3. You have not gotten 4. But Portugal's 5. Brazil is 6. So you pretty much got the top 6, except for number 4, who is England. England is 4. To round out the top 10, 6 Brazil, 7 Morocco.
Shout out Morocco.
Shout out Morocco. 8 Netherlands, 9 Belgium, 10 Germany. So just a little world top 10 for you.
There you go. What was Ryan Hammer? Great follow if you're a college basketball fan. He had a funny tweet that compared all of the World Cup teams to college basketball teams. And Iowa was actually represented with Morocco as the comparison for the Hawkeyes. So quite funny.
Number 7 in the
in the world.
Yep.
Iowa Hawkeyes. Let's get it. But yeah. Anything else to wrap up this episode, man?
I don't think so, man. I think we covered it all, and as we're talking here, Game 4 of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals about to start, and that rocks.
Yeah, absolutely. But you can follow the podcast at crunchtime_pod on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Dropping a lot more clips, so stay on the lookout for those. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube channel. As we've said multiple times, summer's right around the corner. We're entering that. We'll be doing a little more challenges like it in the past. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you subscribe. Crunch Time with the N326 duo. But the clock has run out on this one. But we'll see you on the next one on Crunch Time.
A fleet.